I'm George Michalowski with Pittsburgh Sports Now.
And I'm Jamarius Burton. Welcome to the Just Buckets podcast.
Welcome back to the Just Buckets podcast. I am Jamarius Burton, welcoming you back.
George Michalowski with Pittsburgh Sports Now. Great to be back here in the studio with JB. We spent a couple weeks, away from the podcast as they got their season started with those two games so far against UT Martin, West Virginia. We've got some really exciting updates coming to you soon on Pittsburgh Sports Now, so stay tuned. But today we really want to get you ready for the Legends Classic that JB will be playing in this week against, Michigan on Wednesday. So we're excited.
Yeah, and if you need some last-minute tickets, please click the link in my bio, go to schedule, scroll all the way down till you see the graphic where it says 10% off if you use the code Burton. Click on the link of SeatGeek, put in the code Burton whenever you pick whatever seats you want, and get 10% off your tickets. We look forward to seeing you out there. Hail to Pitt.
There you go. So I want to get into that first game. We'll go in chronological order here. First game against UT Martin. Obviously a big win for you guys coming out of the gates. Blake Hinson was a major story, 27 and 13. You had 10, 7, and 8, I believe, 10, 7, and 5. Nelly also had 7 assists. A big game overall. So tell me about your thoughts from that game. What did you guys take away from that first win?
Yeah, for us, we had a lot of energy. We were together for 40 minutes. And we played the type of basketball that, we had been practicing. We played how we practice. The connectivity was there. Our defense was there. Even, at the start of the game, we started off slow, wasn't really making any shots. But our defense kept us in it. We didn't allow them to get off to a hot start. And we were able to, ride that momentum for majority of the game.
Right, and a big story, obviously, this offseason was the addition of Nelly Cummings to your team. Coming alongside you, two veteran guards that are leading that backcourt that you guys have. When you and Nelly, started off that first game, neither one of you really caught fire shooting the ball.
Right.
But tell the fans, a little bit about what it's like when neither one of you are shooting the ball, when you look for guys like Blake, when you get John back. Mm-hmm. What's it like for you guys as facilitators, as distributors for this offense?
Yeah, I would say that's the beauty of it. The fact that we weren't hot and we were able to win in the midst of that. I think our playmaking can be something that, we can build upon. We both got 7 assists that game, which was remarkable. Our playmaking, us passing it to the open man, just our synergy on the court was excellent that night. So we're just trying to build upon that. I would just say it's a blessing, having veteran guards in the backcourt with me. Nelly, Greg, able to knock down shots. So it's just been some, big additions in the offseason.
Right. And another addition you guys had this offseason was, on the coaching staff. I wanted to ask you about your health because after that first game, Jeff Capel came out in the press conference and said, to everyone in the media, to all the fans watching, he said, I'm just happy for JB. He got to play that game at full health. And he said that's really something that he has been able to do. All of last year, you were banged up. You had that leg injury earlier in the year. So what's your health been like so far this year through these two games?
Yeah, I would say I feel pretty healthy, to start the year. Last year, I had that knee surgery, so I felt like I was limping in, to be quite honest with you. So I just felt good to, be able to be out there to make a more impact on the game. For me, I just want to stuff the stat sheet, be active in all aspects of the game. So last game, UT Martin, I really liked my stat line. Even though I wasn't shooting the ball well, the assists was there, the rebounds was there, the charges was there. And all of those things really help our team. So I just look forward to building on that and trying to be that guy that's, making an impact on all facets of the game.
Right. So a big part of your health, I know, is the strength and conditioning, the routine that you guys get in throughout the season. You guys did bring in that new strength and conditioning coach this offseason, Vincent Williams. What's the addition of him been like so far?
I'll say this. He's been a blessing. The type of care that he has for all of us, I've never seen it. After practice, he's making sure each player gets their recovery. He's personally, offering stretches after practice. He's just been a heaven sent. his impact on our team. He's been involved in the NBA, so he has a great plan, a great game plan. Like the first couple of days he came in, he was like, I'm used to getting guys healthy for 82 games. Like, keeping them healthy, making sure that they're available.
Keeping them healthy for 30 games is nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that was his mindset. Right. So, I just felt confident in him off the rip. And, my confidence with him won't ever waver. I've seen him just have a level of care that I haven't really seen. Like I said, making sure each person gets recovery, catering each workout for each individual has been a blessing.
Hey guys, Jamarius here. I want to thank the Scoring Factory for sponsoring the Just Buckets podcast. The Scoring Factory provides top-notch, detail-oriented training for basketball players of all ages in the Pittsburgh area. I go to Pete Strobel at the Scoring Factory to fine-tune the details of my game by focusing on the individual skills that have gotten me to this level. Come get some at the Scoring Factory.
The big game, last Friday against West Virginia, the backyard brawl, the hype was there. The zoo was sold out.
Yeah, the hype was there. The zoo showed up. That was the most fans I had ever seen in there since, my time here. I've been here over a year, played 30 games or so. I don't know how many home games, but that was the most, support that I've seen us have. It was unfortunate for us to, for the game to go how it went. But, if that's the first sight of the zoo, I believe we'll have many games to come where we'll have that type of attendance.
Right. The environment was special. I know in the beginning of that game when Greg hit that three. He hit that three, the and one 4-point play. What was that energy like?
When he hit that three for that 4-point play, the energy was ridiculous.
Right.
The energy was ridiculous, and you could feel it. And it was so much so to where they had to call a timeout. I don't know if it was them or the media, but either way it go, I will give the zoo tremendous props. They showed up and showed out for us, and we just gotta do our part, and we owe them some games where they show up like that and we show out.
Right. And I know Greg has made a major impact so far early on. Obviously on the stat sheet, had 12 points that game, shot the ball well in the first game as well. But what's his energy like? Because the zoo was obviously full.
Yeah.
Stadium was full, but Greg brings the energy. He's hyping up the crowd every chance he gets. What's his energy like out there?
His energy is contagious, but I'll say this: he's like that every single day.
Right.
So it's beautiful to see him do it in practice and then him do it in the game. Mm-hmm. He's bringing that energy. He's ready to shoot whenever the opportunity present itself. And he's just a competitor, as you've seen. He made the threes, beating his chest. For me, that hyped me up. I'm getting chills again just thinking about it. Like I said, the game ended. The game happened how it happened, but the type of energy that he brings definitely is contagious.
Right. So before the season and during the season, when we've talked to Jeff Capel, he's raved about this team's shooting ability, especially from outside. You guys had Greg, you had Nelly, you had Blake. That's three of your top 3-point shooters all out of the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. So far, the shooting hasn't been, that remarkable from outside. Mm-hmm. The numbers haven't looked amazing. But Jeff always says in practice, we shoot the ball great. So
yeah, we do.
Is that your team's, mentality? Are you going into every game thinking you're going to shoot from outside well? Is that really a goal?
We know our capabilities, and Coach always preaches to us about taking good shots, whatever is available, taking what the defense gives us. We're only 2 games in, so I'm not really, pressed as far as like the shooting stats or whatever case like that. I think for us it's more about getting in the rhythm, offensively, getting downhill more, getting to where we can, swing that ball. Like the first game, we were able to do that. Mm-hmm. West Virginia, the type of pressure, the type of defense that they were playing kind of forced us out of our normal rhythm.
Right.
In addition to the foul trouble we had, it just kind of messed up our rhythm a little bit. But the shooting is there. It just comes down to us executing. And when we're executing our sets, when we're in our shape and that ball is moving, then you'll see the shooting. Because, we've seen it on multiple occasions within the exhibition in the first game.
Right.
So it's there. We just gotta continue to build that continuity amongst ourselves.
Right, 100%. So one of the guys that had a great game in that game was Eric Stevenson, the West Virginia shooting guard. I know you have a bit of history with Eric. You played with him before?
Yeah. So me and Eric, we go back to our freshman year. We both went in as freshmen at the University of Wichita State, and we were roommates. We were brothers. So it was definitely great seeing him. I'll say that. But beyond that, he's just a competitor. I went into the game knowing I was gonna have to guard him, knowing what he brought to the table as far as competitive drive, shooting ability. So I mean, he's just a heck of a player, and he showed up big for them, Friday.
So it's a big game, big win for West Virginia. Obviously, Pitt. It's still early in the year, and you guys have a big opportunity in front of you right now,
right,
with the Legends Classic. So playing Michigan at 6 p.m. on Wednesday this week. What do you know about Michigan so far? Looking at their film, some of the guys I know you're familiar with on their team. What do you know about the Michigan Wolverines?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've went over their scout maybe once so far since the last game, but my first impressions is just their size with the 7-footer in the middle, the type of pressure that he brings, the type of IQ that he has, playmaking ability, passing ability, finishing ability. I think Coach mentions that he's shooting 70% from the field, if not in the mid-60s, which is tremendous. So he's definitely somebody we're going to have to pay close attention to. But we're just getting familiar with the scouting report. But I think as we continue to do our homework on them, that we'll be ready to go on Wednesday. But what I will say off the bat from our first initial scouting reports is that they have a monster inside, and that they have some guards that have the freedom to go. So we're gonna have to be locked in defensively, and we're gonna have to take that same approach that we had the first game, regardless if we were making or missing shots. But just amp that up another level. Take that up a few notches, because we're gonna be on the road. Defense travels, and we're gonna have to bring our hard hats for this tournament.
Right, and playing in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, that's got to be cool. I mean,
yeah.
What's that like playing there?
Yeah, so I've only played in the Barclays Center once. I played there. We were in the ACC tournament last year. Unfortunately, only one game there. So I look forward to, gaining more experience on that court. But I'll say this. The arena is beautiful. To get in the arena, you got to go through, this back tunnel on the bus. And then the crazy part is I have never seen this. There's an elevator for the bus. So you drive on.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen it, except when I went to the Barclays Center. I've been in many arenas throughout my college career, even NBA arenas.
Right.
But this one, it stood out to me because they have that bus elevator. So you drive on your bus. Then next thing you know, the doors close and it's lifting you down. And then when you get down, it lifts up, and then you drive in, and then, you're in the arena. I figured, that's more for security purposes.
Probably.
But whatever the case may be, I thought that was unique to the arena. But besides, the entrance, the arena is beautiful. I mean, it's an NBA court. The locker room was great. We just got to get better vibes there. Last year we lost last time we were there. So, just trying to flip the switch this time around.
Right. Do you think this group this year, do you think the vibes, the overall, attitude, mentality around this team, do you think it feels different than last year? Do you think there's more juice with this team, more energy going into these games early on? Yeah,
definitely. I would say that, this group doesn't like to lose. Not saying last year's group didn't, but, with this amount of veterans on our team, there's a greater sense of hunger. You got guys that are on their last year, including myself. So there's a greater sense of hunger. So for us, it was very unfortunate for us to lose, especially in the fashion that we did last game. But that's over and done with. We got to bounce back, and there's no better way to bounce back than, to bounce back in the NBA arena against a top 25 team.
In a tournament. You got a chance to win a tournament.
Yeah, you got a chance to win a tournament. So it's definitely a great opportunity in front of us, and we're just trying to make the best of it.
The Just Buckets podcast is sponsored by Gussie's Bagels. Visit Gussie's at 3606 5th Ave, right in the heart of Pittsburgh's campus, for the best bagels in the burg. My favorite sandwich is the Top Gunner, which has sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese, with Gussie's special sauce on a fresh sesame bagel. Visit Gussie's for the best breakfast in town, and stay tuned for Gussie's giveaways all season long on the Just Buckets podcast.
So we want to welcome a new sponsor to the Just Buckets podcast. We want to welcome Roots. Roots Natural Kitchen is a fantastic restaurant in the Oakland area, right there on Forbes Avenue. And they're going to sponsor our show with a Fueled by Roots segment. So
Yes.
we're going to be talking Roots all season long. We're going to be fueling up at Roots all season long. I know you and I will. So first of all, I want to get into this Fueled by Roots segment, ask you a couple questions, how you get fueled up. So coming into a home game like you did the other day against West Virginia, big game, a lot of hype around it, full stadium hours before, at least with students, hours before the game. How did you prepare for that game? How did you fuel up for that game against West Virginia?
How did I fuel up? I mean, for me, I would say it starts mentally for me. I got to fuel up there. So for me, I'm cutting off the access noise, So I'm deleting Instagram the night before. I'm trying to get away from the outside noise, lock in on the game plan. I'm fueling up mentally that way. I'm fueling up also by the type of music that I'm listening to.
Right.
So, prior to the game, I'm listening to my playlist that I create. I create a bunch of different playlists as the season goes on. But one thing consistent that's going to be on my playlist is church music. I always say this. So for me, I'm fueling up.
For your pregame?
Yeah, for my pregame.
Okay.
Yeah, for my pregame. Because it just calms my nerves down. It gets me centered on a greater purpose, and that's God. He's given me this great gift and ability to be able to play this game, and I don't want to take anything for granted. So I'm fueling up in that way. Obviously, we got pregame meals, so I go to them. I eat, whatever spread is available to us. And then a few hours before the game, I would say the game started at 7. So around 5, I got to get me a coffee in.
Coffee?
Yeah, coffee.
How do you like your coffee?
I normally get a caramel craze latte.
Okay.
But I do got to branch off to some different type of coffees. But that's just my go-to right now. It's been that way over a year now. And that's because I don't take naps before the game. So I'm up all day. Once I get up, I stay up. So for me, I got to get my coffee in. It kind of, re-energizes me for the games, and I'm ready to go.
I got you. In terms of your team, the preparation once you get to Brooklyn, I know you guys obviously aren't there yet, but I know last year when you did go for the ACC tournament, had some time to, explore New York, but not a ton.
Right.
So what is the preparation for a tournament game in Brooklyn going to look like? Do you know what's on the schedule?
Yeah, I don't quite know the itinerary, but one thing will be consistent, and that's walkthroughs, and that's a lot of film study. Right. That's one of the most consistent things, regardless of what program I've been at on the road, is doing your homework. For us, it's a business trip, and we're treating it as such. We're going on the road with one thing in mind, and that's to win. We're not going on the road with this is an opportunity to sightsee, this is an opportunity for a vacation. No. Right. For us, it's a business trip, and especially after our last performance, we're traveling down there with the intentions to win. We're definitely amped up about the opportunity. I will say that.
So who on the team, it could be a new guy, could be a guy that's been with you guys since last year and before. Who on the team has the most odd, the weirdest pregame, routine? Does anyone do anything like out of the ordinary, before a game? Who's taking naps? What are the other guys on the team? What's their routines look like?
To be honest with you, I don't know everyone's routine, but I will say that one thing I've noticed is that we have a good amount of guys who like to take naps. That's their way of, feeling up for the game. So prior to the game, a couple hours before, I could see Greg on a beanbag, knocked out for a few moments, just fueling up.
He's got to save up all his energy.
Yeah, he's got to fuel up his type of way, because when he get out there, he's going to bring that contagious energy.
Right.
And that's just one guy that I've noticed, within our first 2 games. And I'm sure, as the season goes on, as we get more guests on the show, we'll be able to see how those guys fuel up for games to come.
Awesome. So we'll wrap up the Fueled Up segment here by Roots, with an announcement of a giveaway. So Roots has, blessed us with the opportunity to not only eat at Roots, but to let our fans also enjoy Roots. So we're going to be giving away a free wrap voucher from Roots. They just got wraps on the menu. They're excellent. All their food is really healthy, really tasty as well. So we're going to be giving away a free wrap. And to enter that giveaway, you got to check out the directions in Jamarius' Instagram comments. So he's going to make a post when we release this episode. He's going to have the instructions in there for the giveaway to enter. And all you got to do is, follow those instructions, have a chance to win some great tasty food right here in Oakland and Pittsburgh. So thank you to Roots for sponsoring this show. We look forward to, giving away our Roots wrap, later on in the next episode.
Yeah, thank you, Roots. And the segue, we'll be doing a Gussie's giveaway today.
Yes, sir. So last episode, we had Greg Elliott on, great guest, awesome. We talked about Greg a lot on this show too. But we did mention that we'd be giving away, a $20 gift card to Gussie's Bagels. It's another Oakland staple right now. It's best breakfast food, best bagels in Oakland, in Pittsburgh. So,
without a doubt, 3606 Fifth Avenue. That's where I be.
Yes, sir. So JB is realistically always there. So
I got to get my Top Gunner.
Right, Top Gunner. It's the best one. So JB is going to be giving away a sandwich. We got all the winners. Thank you to everyone who entered the giveaway. We've got all the winners' names right here, and I'll let JB do the honors of picking the winner right now.
Yeah. So for this giveaway, PSN brings to you these podcasts, so we're going to be picking it out a PSN hat today.
There you go. And the winner is.
I wish I had a drum roll.
Need that effect next.
So the winner is Mark Caden.
Mark Caden. Mark commented on the YouTube show. Thank you, Mark, for tuning into Just Buckets. Really appreciate you, and you'll be able to enjoy some Gussie's a couple times. $20. It's a solid gift card. You'll be able to enjoy a lot of food at Gussie's. So, thank you, Mark, for entering. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to everyone else who's tuned in to the first 3 episodes now. I'm George Michalowski with PSN, with Jamarius Burton here with Pitt. We look forward to hearing the response, seeing you guys in the future at Pitt basketball games.
Yep. Welcome back, and see you next time.